Kart racing is getting very, very popular in the Northeast, and a lot of people are following it. There's a lot going on. Of course, we just had a big race at the New York State Fairgrounds a couple of weeks ago. There's another series on dirt coming up in Norwich in January, February, and March. So to keep track of all this stuff, you need some place to go. We're going to have a new place to do that. Oval Kart Digest will be printing in early January. It will hit the shelves later in January. It is a subscription-based product, and the guy who's putting it together is Brandon Clapperton. He's been promoting races, and he's also big in this race coming up in Norwich. So let's head to Deposit, New York. That's around the Binghamton area. Brandon Clapperton joins us here. Brandon, how we doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Doug?
Good, good, good. So we got a big, exciting project coming up. You must be ready to go, and I mean, it's a new venture. It should be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
What do you envision this being when we open up one of these issues? What's it going to look like? What's going to be inside?
We've got tech articles. We've got columnists. We've got different event stories and track stories. Track spotlights and driver spotlights, and basically the same type of stuff you'd see in like a sort of stock car racing type magazines, but catering to karts rather than stock cars.
Okay. How often would this be coming out?
But we're gonna put it out bi-monthly, so every other month we're gonna send an issue out.
Okay. What brought this about? What was there a moment where you said, "Man, I wish all this was in one place and I could get it"? Was it that simple?
Well, it was kind of one of those things that I always liked magazines and newspapers and stuff like that, like the Area Auto and Circle Track and some of those magazines like that. And I started looking to see if there was any kart magazines, because obviously being into karts, and just there's a lot of stuff you can find there that doesn't get published online. And figure out there's not really any Circle Track oriented kart magazines. There's road course stuff like that, but nothing that kind of really caters to what we do.
Oh, so the shifter karts kind of do have a presence. Of course, that's a worldwide, almost European kind of thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. That sport is really big, all over the country, all over the world. And there's a number of publications that cater to those guys, but the karts are totally different than our left turn karts. So there's really not a lot even tech related that really transfers over.
I would imagine there wouldn't be, yeah, because the clutch and everything instead of shifting and all of that. So why an actual magazine instead of an online component?
Because I think magazines, like print magazines, I think they're kind of making a little bit of a comeback, because people like to hold something in their hand. They like to have something that if their cell phone dies, they can take into the restroom with them. And I mean, it's cool. I've always been just a fan of magazines. A couple times I've had some stuff published in the Circle Track magazines or whatever. I had a picture, one of those hometown heroes things. I had my picture in there, and I was quoted in there, and I didn't know where it came off a Facebook question somewhere. Somebody quoted me, and when you flip through a magazine, it's hey, that's pretty cool. So I've got that magazine page with a picture of my race truck from 6-7 years ago, whatever it was, is framed up, and it's just something cool about magazines that people seem to really like.
No, I agree, because I get Area Auto in the news or in the mail. Mm-hmm. I don't read it online. I like having the physical copy in front of me. I like being able to put it down, and I have them stacked up in order, so that way if I want to go back to a month ago, I can. There are a lot of advantages to the print format, are there not?
Absolutely. I mean, that you just said it right there. Is if people get I don't know about anybody else, but I know my wife will give me a little bit of crap if I'm looking at my phone too much, or I might be reading an article. I subscribe to a magazine, I have to read it online. But if I pick up a newspaper or a magazine, well, then it doesn't look as, I don't know. It seems to be, I don't know if it's a head game or something like that, but I don't get as much crap for it if I'm looking at something physical rather than a phone, or a tablet or something.
And there is something about when you get that new issue, to start, you thumb through it first, you kind of find the ones you want to go back and read. There's something romantic about the printed word. I'll be honest with you, and I'm glad you're actually doing it in a magazine format.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's a lot of people out there that think like that too. That have that same line of thought. They want to just print is. There's something about print when it shows up in your mail. You'll go grab your mail and yes, this month.
Yeah.
This month's magazine is there. And, it's a different type of fun, different type of enjoyment.
Yeah, the excitement of going to the mailbox and, wait, let me see, is it, oh, yes, here it is, And of course, you go to a doctor's office nowadays or something, there's nothing you can read printed anymore, right. So I like that. You can bring it with you and all of that. Are you all set with all the people you need? You've got columnists lined up, and you've got a pretty good idea of how the first issue is going to go?
Yeah, we've got the first issues pretty well laid out. We've got a handful of columnists. We've got a couple that are just doing it to help us get started with this first issue. So we are gonna be looking for more.
Okay.
If anybody wants to write any PR,
Yeah.
any track PR, stuff like that. I mean, we're definitely any sort of content we can get, anything we can do to help these tracks out. Tracks and the drivers and the sponsors and stuff like that. Anything we can do, we're always willing to take more.
And obviously, you just mentioned the big component of this too is the sponsors. Is it a little easier? Is it a little tougher to do something that's not online? Because everybody always told me it's tough to sell online sponsors. Where I would imagine a printed vehicle like this, should it be easier to find those sponsors?
With me, it seems it actually seems pretty even.
Okay.
With me, I mean, I've got 2 racetracks that we sell. We sell advertising with those racetracks and stuff like that, and it's print. But we're doing it also could be because we're running our print ads. Any advertisers in this magazine, we're running really cheap, quarter page for $100, which you really can't beat in print anywhere. But just to kind of help us give that a shot to get going and get this up and running and filled and so it's we're not getting turned down a whole lot, but it might just be it might just be because we're doing it really cheap and a lot of people want to be involved because it's new and it's so it's hard for me to kind of compare the two of them. I always seem to do really well at like the track level too, selling the billboards, the banners and stuff like that. Which are obviously more expensive, but it doesn't seem to be that much of a harder sell.
Okay.
So it's hard to say.
All right, so if you guys are into Oval Karts, this is it. You can get your subscriptions. He's on Facebook, and it's Oval Kart Digest, Kart with a K, of course. And make sure to go there, get your subscription. You will have a component where they can pick them up at some racetracks, too, down the road.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have them, the tracks. We got several tracks that are going to have some for sale. We'll have them, we should have them at all the indoor races, because if everything goes smoothly, we get everything sent to print. I should have them in my hands by the 17th of January, so that'll be before the first indoor race, so we'll definitely have them available there, and as long as everything goes according to plan, and that'll be just this winter. And then once we get to the spring, I'm sure we'll have them available at tracks all over in the springtime.
Very good. I wish you all the best, man. Please keep in touch. Let me know how things go after the first issue comes out, and we'll do another one here to remind everybody about it, and that way I can show it to them. I can show them what it actually looks like on the camera, and seriously, I wish you all the best in this new venture. I hope it goes well, man.
Thanks, Doug. I really appreciate it.
Again, make sure to go on Facebook, Oval Kart Digest. They got their own page just set up for this. And for all you guys who are saying, man, I want more information, I want something just designated to this, well, here is your opportunity. Brandon, thanks again. Guys, hit the blue E, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff, and turn on your notifications. Every time we're talking to somebody like Brandon who's doing something cool, you won't miss it.